49ers offense versus Dallas defense. Man, oh man, we're going to hop right into the tape. And let me tell you, the tape is infinitely better than what we saw last week. And so I'm excited to break this down. We're going to look at some of the key plays, big moments, rookies stepping up, Brock Purdy coming back to form, creative play calling, a lot of the things that a lot of fans were calling for that they didn't see against the Kansas City Chiefs. We absolutely got to see that in all its glory. And again, there's still opportunity for this team to clean some things up, get better in certain areas, but this is absolutely the step in the right direction. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. Make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already, because we're going to break it all down right now. Let's get into it. 49ers offensive film breakdown versus Dallas. Let's go. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. All right, 49er fans, SDS, how are we doing today? Let's get this all situated and let's look at some of these plays by the San Francisco 49ers versus the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to start it off. Second play of the game versus Dallas. And we're going to get Ricky Pearsall in the mix early and often. You love to see it. What this looks like is you have Deebo Samuel in the backfield. It almost looks like it's going to be kind of like a variation of a screen with Deebo Samuel out, Kyle Juszczyk out to block, and they actually come underneath to Ricky Pearsall. It felt like you had multiple options to go with this one. You could have went with Ricky. You see George break open free. Even if they went and threw this to Deebo in the flat, looks like he would have been able to get after it. So, hey, good start. We'll take it. Second play in. You can see offensive line doing their best. Dominic Pooney staying in front, even though he's dealing with the bull rush. He's able to stay in between. And you see Brock Purdy just put it right on Ricky Pearsall's chest. And you get a nice catch after that. Then, obviously, we're going to get into kind of the situation where we start to get into the 49ers kind of penalty box. The penalties start to pile up, and so that pushes them back to 3rd and 6 instead of a quarterback sneak. They go with a deep shot to Deebo Samuel down the right sideline. And again, good. It's a good throw. It's in a spot where Deebo Samuel can catch it. If we're going to nitpick, would love to get that on the upfield outside shoulder instead of Deebo Samuel having to kind of turn back towards the ball to make the catch. You would love to be able to get it kind of hitting him in stride. But again, nitpicking, when we're seeing Brock Purdy throw deep, he still has good touch on his ball and he's still getting it there. But I definitely do think there is room for him to push this a little bit further out in front, but still nonetheless, good throw, good catch. It's actually a great catch by Deebo to be able to snag that and then get after it, break some tackles, make some guys miss. All right, we'll take that. We'll take that all day. I love seeing that. So the 49ers got off to a little bit hotter of a start. Now, again, penalties definitely showed up And again, you see another penalty right here. So the penalties, when you really get into the tape and you're looking at kind of the first half struggles, you can really quantify a lot of it up to penalties. Penalties kind of pushing them back, kind of pushing them away from what they wanted to do, what they wanted to execute. And um, yeah, I really do think that played a huge role in how that first half played for this offense. Otherwise, other than that, they played pretty solid. I think right here you can see this is it's really subtle, but I think it's again pretty high level by Brock. He feels the pressure. You're going to see Trent Williams punch down on that outside shoulder or the inside shoulder, and that is just going to send 91 to the turf. He's using the defensive ends leverage against him. Brock Purdy senses it, but they're going to be able to get free on a stunt. So you can see the delayed looper linebacker, the two defensive tackles slant inside. That pulls the offensive line inside. That gives you a free rusher, but he does a great job of throwing across his body while his momentum is going the other direction and giving Ricky Pearsall a shot to be able to get this catch. So again, really small, but again, that's not an easy throw by any stretch of the imagination. So solid job to be able to make a play. And hey, it's not that's a challenge right there. That is not an easy throw. You got a guy right in front of you going across the body. It's not bad. Not bad. And a good catch by Ricky Pearsall to bring that thing in. But you're also going to get uh this is one of the, I think, nicer throws of the day. This is going to be George Kittle. You're going to get a nice play action naked boot. You're going to get Brock Purdy on the move, and he's just going to flip it into the spot. He sees the void in the defense. George Kittle's going to sit it down, and he's just going to whoop, just one of those whoop, little drop it in the bucket. I like that. I like that quite a bit. Um, you see him getting his head around. So I don't know if him. Let's take a look at this angle. It looks like he's staring down Debo, and I think him staring down Debo is to keep two over onto Debo, because you can see two is trying to decide, do I peel back towards Kittle, right? You can see he's thinking about it. He's like, do I bail on Debo and just bail into this void where Kittle's coming, or do I stay? I think what Purdy does is he keeps his eyes on Debo long enough that he's able to come back and flip it right into that tight window and drops it right to George Kittle. I think that was a pretty solid throw. The process involved with it, because again, you can see he's looking Debo's way, and when he's throwing, he's going to Kittle. You can see the difference in where his eyes are. So Brock, for not having the greatest game against the Chiefs, I do think bounced back and played pretty well in this one specifically. This one I thought probably should have been a completion, but also does look like Debo Samuel damn near gets tackled on this one. So I did think that the ball placement was fine. I felt like the timing was fine. But when you have a guy pulling at your feet, I think that just affected the timing enough where Debo wasn't able to snag this ball. Other than that, I like the play action. I like the setup. I like the throw. When we talk about upfield outside shoulder, that's what it was. And I mean, that to me should have been a penalty. I don't think that was called, but it clearly looks like it impacted Debo and trying to go for that ball. But I had no issues with the ball placement. It did feel like it was more impacted by the PI than anything else. So again, they were only able to score 3 points up until this point, and they're in the second quarter. Haven't been able to sustain drives, haven't been able to score touchdowns. Well, that was going to change for about 10 seconds when you get Debo Samuel schemed up wide open, and then he does the rest and he takes it in for a touchdown. Obviously, we know what the call is. You're going to get a holding here by Salbert. He's going to block this end. And it's an unfortunate situation based on like the leverage, because you can see that he's kind of got the shoulder. He's got one hand on the chest plate, and then the other hand goes to the back. And then when the defender does this, and you see that hook and he goes to shed, but Salbert goes with him, that's where the hold comes from. So to me, just more unfortunate than anything else. Um, Obviously, you don't want to hold in that situation and clearly take away a huge explosive play that has Debo Samuel going for a huge touchdown that obviously would have got the momentum on the 49ers side early. But again, love the concept, love the play action, love that Debo schemed open. So some of the things that we had saw last week, I think was again just more of, to me, this tape speaks to just the game against the Chiefs felt like more of an outlier than anything else. Good throw, puts it right on Debo, allows Debo to turn up field. Just unfortunately didn't count. So, all right, it is what it is. That's going to happen. Can't cry over spilled milk. You got to keep that dialing it up. And that's what Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers continue to do. You can see him sitting in the pocket, great pocket by the offensive line. They only rush 4. So that allows him to survey and figure out where he wants to go. You can see him work through his progressions and find a open Ricky Pearsall. And Ricky does a good job being on. See, this looks a lot better than what they were doing last week. They were off on a throw here or there, but man, Ricky and Brock, you can kind of feel the rapport building, and that was a solid catch. I mean, he got crunched, and he was able to maintain the ball through the ground. 35, thinking he's a little saucy, think he can step over Ricky. All right, do what you want. We'll see how that plays out for him. But so as you can see, like, there are obviously some not so good plays that I haven't shown, but there's nowhere near the level of what we had saw last week. Not worth highlighting, not worth really singling out. Whereas last week it was like every play that we showed was a broken play, or every play had some kind of issue. And this right here is a nice throw. Opposite side hash, Brock Purdy. Look at the anticipation on this throw, dude. I mean, foot is planted, ball is almost halfway before Ricky starts to break out. I mean, you talk about anticipation. This is one of the better anticipatory throws I've seen from Brock Purdy, and it is absolutely on the freaking money. He threw that thing so early, and man, what for Ricky to be back only playing this, 2 weeks, and he knows where he's going to be, that's a good sign, man. That really, really is, to see where he's ripping that ball and see that Ricky hasn't even gone into the top of his route yet. That is that's a very pretty anticipatory throw. These are hard throws. Like this is hard. Opposite side hash, you have a rusher that is flashing in front of you, and you let that thing rip and it hits him right in the bucket. I'll take that. I'll take that from Brock Purdy 10 times out of 10. I'll take that any day of the week. Kidding me? That's pretty. That's nice. We like that. Yes, we like that. That's nice. And that's kind of the rapport that I'm talking about. Like, you can see, like, he knew where he was going to be. He sensed where he was going to be, and you know, we got more quick screens in this game. See, I feel like Kyle was kind of back. Kyle was back, Brock was back, the offense was back. I don't know. I don't know what it is about those Chiefs, man. I don't know if it's straight up like their 49ers kryptonite, but although things weren't perfect and there's still areas to improve and clean up, much much better than what we had seen prior. And so we got a 4th and 3 look coming up right here. Fourth, is this what I want? 4th and 3, it is what I want. Empty set. Oh, now this one, I think there's two thought processes involved in this. One, I would say that's behind, right? I think we can all objectively agree that that throw is behind. Now, again, there's multiple thought processes. Some people say Debo Samuel should have caught this. I also think you could subscribe to the theory that Brock is also potentially trying to turn him away from the defender. So think of it like, if Debo is able to stop his momentum and go back towards the ball, that spins him away from the defender like this, and you potentially maybe get a cut, a broken tackle. Um, I don't know. He's theoretically putting the ball away from the defender. So I think there's a couple different opinions on this play. I would say what it is that it is behind. I do think there's a world that exists where Debo can catch that. And it's a 4th down. The idea was there. I think the what you wanted to do was there, and you should have had it. It just didn't work out like you planned. So it's it's a good answer to the blitz. I mean, look at the protection up front. They do a great job of picking everyone up and giving him time to throw. They bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. They bring 7. So it's 7-on-6. A little bit of a delayed from 8. All right. That I'm not losing any sleep over. Obviously, it ultimately didn't have an impact at the end result of the game, But that to me is something you can clean up. I'm not concerned about that. Like you can fix this. You can you can correct that, right? We can get better. It could be multiple things. It could be Brock anticipating the timing of the route. It could be him throwing behind. It could be multiple things. So the bottom line is I'm not concerned about that. That's something easily correctable, easily fixable by both parties, by Brock and Debo. They can get that one figured out. I thought it was a good play call. They got I think the look that they were after, just didn't execute. They'll be able to get that again. But here, this is where Isaac Guerendo really started to shine. Obviously, Jordan Mason goes down with a shoulder injury, but man, Isaac Guerendo really giving me some of the Raheem Mostert vibes. I just love the way he presses the hole to the right and just the subtle change of direction. Watch number 6, I believe it is. You're going to watch 6. He's going to fill this running lane. Obviously, you're going to have Kyle Juszczyk cutting across the formation to kick out, but you get great blocking, a great double here. Brendel gets to backer, kick out, kick out. Very difficult block by Trent Williams to get this sealed. That's very difficult block. He gets just enough. Very difficult block. And then Isaac Guerendo uses a speed, cuts up field. Heck yeah. So I love it. I think Isaac Guerendo has really, I think he's feeling more comfortable within the scheme and playing at this level. And I think you're starting to see that comfortability shine through and how he's reading. Like there's a couple plays that I've seen in this game, I've seen in Seattle where he's one tackle away from busting a huge gain. So he's getting better and better as the weeks progress, and we get back to back solid Guerendo runs here. And again, you're starting to see his vision. You're starting to see his ability to again press holes and cut off of it. So just the ability to press this, you can see the defensive tackle, they're peeking. He's like, "Oh, I got Guerendo right here." And then McKivitz is like, "Psych." Great job. First of all, great job by Kyle Juszczyk. Kyle runs into McKivitz and still blocks this guy. So that's phenomenal. You get a nice little double to backer. Pooney throws hands, gets to backer, covers him up, and then boom. Beautiful. No penetration on the backside. Juice still is able to get the kick out. And because Guerendo pushes this so far into the middle, it's able to produce the cutback lane. And he cuts it back. You got Dallas Cowboys defenders doing flips. Oh yeah. Love it. Isaac, man. Isaac is really turning out to be a solid player. So again, I don't know. I don't know how soon we realize this if Christian McCaffrey doesn't get hurt. And again, no one wishes Christian McCaffrey got hurt, but it opens up opportunities for other guys and younger players to get reps. And you're seeing how Isaac Guerendo is taking advantage of it. I mean, I think we got 3 plays in a row, and we're gonna get 3 solid Isaac Guerendo runs. Um, you got another Isaac Guerendo run right here. This one, unfortunately, looks. I think it gets called back from a penalty. Um, I think he had a little bobble of the pitch. Let's see, little bobble of the pitch. You get Kittle called for the hold on the outside, but you see the speed, man. You see how he hits that edge. That is huge to have someone. And shout out to Debo, bro. Look at Debo blocking, man. Like, look at Debo. Man, when you got your guys out there like Debo blocking for you against Trayvon Diggs, hell yeah, great effort by Debo. Obviously, unfortunate to get the hold here, but you see the ability that uh that Isaac Guerendo has. He's smooth. He's a smooth criminal. So on this one, so again, one of the things you're noticing is there's more. I felt like more rhythm to the offense. Play calling. Obviously, Debo drops this one because I think he was feeling the green grass in front of him. I think he took his eyes off the ball and he was thinking about, all right, I'm thinking house call potentially because he had numbers. He had numbers out in front. You get the block by Pearsall. You're going to have Kittle out. You're going to have all your offensive linemen out there that I think if he catches this thing, he might be house called right here. This might be 6. And I think he felt it. I think he felt it. I mean, you see the look that they got. Great job. Great job throwing into the defensive play call. Just unfortunate wasn't able to get brought in because you look at that, that's probably touchdown right there. Close to it for sure. But it's all good. We live to play another down. 2nd and 20, right? Backed up because of the holding. What I liked about this to me is what we talked about last week. The Audible gate, all of that stuff. This is a perfect example. Just like we've learned, all the answers are built into the play. So when you're going to get overload, right? You see they get the slide going to the weak side. They bring numbers backside, right? This feels like that same play that we talked about with the Chiefs, where they only brought 5, but they had 2 free rushers. It's the same thing. They bring 5, it's 5 on 5, 2 free rushers. The difference is Purdy knows exactly where he's going with the ball. He knows his hot. His hot is Guerendo. They have an answer for it, and he gets the ball out immediately. So this to me is a direct correlation of what you know, this is the questions and things that I was asking that turned into the crazy audible situation was when you get these looks where you get 5 on 5, but they overload still based on the design and how they scheme it up is what are the answers? What are the checks, if any, built into the play? And this is it. This is their answer to that. This is a copycat league, and this is about as similar as you could probably get to what the Chiefs did on this specific play that we saw last week. This time they had an answer to it and they got it to Guerendo. So I like that. I like that quite a bit. That to me shows that they had an answer. It's to the hot is to the overload side or the heavy side where they bring multiple blitzers. and they're able to get it to Guerendo. So nice. We'll take that. We'll take that for sure. All right. Then Brock said, you know what? Let's go. Let's turn on the burners. Brock Purdy had as many rushing yards on the game as the entire Cowboys offense as a whole. He had 56 rushing yards. The Cowboys offense, too, also had 56 rushing yards. So, hey, I like it. I like seeing Brock get after it. And then we're going to come right back to Kittle. It's National Tight Ends Day. Why wouldn't we come right back to Kittle and look at Kittle break free? You'll love it. Take what's given. We're going to get zero blitz. Right? They bring 6 and they keep the running back in. Max protect. And the offensive line does a great job of picking it up. And you get one-on-one with George Kittle. Heck yeah. We'll take that all day. That's easy. That's easy money right there. Great job by the offensive line picking this up. Again, you're going to see them bring numbers. You got exotics. You got some stunts on the interior. They tried that same exact stunt where they're dropping 2 in and they're crashing 2, looping 1 with numbers on the left and doesn't phase Brock. He's able to find the one-on-one matchup and he's able to get it to Kittle for a nice gain. We're going to get Purdy with another scramble. I like it. I like seeing Brock break free, use his legs as a weapon. Ooh, got maybe get down a little sooner. I feel like when Brock runs, it kind of centers him. It kind of because he is an athlete. Let's not get it twisted. He's an athlete, and I think when he gets out on the move, I think it calms the nerves a little bit because you're less thinking, more reacting. Also, too, I would like to submit my request that the San Francisco 49ers run quarterback sneak on every single short yardage play. Always. Every time. If it's 1 yard to gain, whether in the goal line, whether in midfield, quarterback sneak. Let's do it. No need to get get all fancy dancy. Just quarterback sneak right through the A gap. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, quarterback sneak. Brock is, I don't have the numbers, but Brock has a phenomenal hit rate on these QB sneaks. But this was a phenomenal play by George. George almost housed this thing. The fact that he almost housed this thing is just speaks to how awesome George is. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did we get a check at the line? Audible? Oh, is this Purdy checking? Is this checking out of a run? Easy. Easy. Man, if we get Conley on if I know Conley's not really seeing 28, he's looking at 6. But if Conley sees 28 and he gets into 28's way, then that's a house call, because look at Trayvon Diggs. You want to see someone who's has zero interest in tackling George Kittle? Watch this guy. Just focus on him this entire rep. Watch this guy. Watch Trayvon. Look at him. Oh, Kittle's got the ball? If I have to. He knows Kittle's got the ball right about there. He's just like, he sees that he's got the ball right there. This guy, he's not fooling anyone. He said, I don't want to tackle Kittle. I would be and then he got into like a argument with like a reporter after the game too. That's not a good look. You don't want to put that kind of stuff on tape. That's for sure. That's not what you want to put on tape. Don't do that. Oh no, don't do that. Don't put that on tape, because that ain't pretty. See, look at the effort. He's like, jogging. Jogging. Yogging. I think the J is silent. Isaac Guerendo punches it in for 6. Great block by McKivitz right here. Beautiful block by McKivitz. Great job by Juice. This action was working all day, pulling Juice across the formation with the kick out. Then you're going to get a double from Pooney. See, Pooney's going to help Brendel. You see the defensive tackle shift from Brendel's right shoulder to left shoulder. Thank Pooney for that. And then he gets to backer and then walls out the backer. Great job. Great job by Juice, Kittle, McKivitz, Pooney, Brendel, Banks. All of them. That's everyone scores on this one. This is everyone doing their job. Guerendo makes a good cut. I mean, really makes it easy. Just had to literally run straight because everyone blocked for him up front. Really solid blocking. Here's another good angle at what the blocking looks like. So again, man, we weren't seeing much of this on tape last week. We really weren't. Last week was the definition of down bad, and to me, this is a great response. This is a great answer from everyone. How they blocked, how Brock played, how Kyle called the game. Now, there's still plenty of things they need to clean up. The penalties, I think, are the biggest issue right now. But man, you talk about answering the call and answering the adversity, and they did it. Another good scramble for Purdy makes it look easy. We're gonna get that into this one was almost. This is the one where I think Debo might have gotten hurt on. Just the way he got crunched definitely didn't look like it felt very good. Definitely looks like right here. Yeah, that looked like that hurt. But, the dreaded red zone, right? Try to give it to Kyle Juszczyk on a fullback dive, essentially. Nothing there. All right. We are in that category. All right. 3rd and 2, red zone period. What are the 49ers going to do? And I love a good rub. I love a good rub route. Fantastic. And credit to Conley. He sold it, man. He's selling it like he's running an inside route, and he absolutely decleats number 6, and they pick up the hankies. Good call by the refs because Conley did his job. He just sold that inside. Hey, that's what happens. That's what happens when you send the house. You go 0 blitz. You leave George Kittle wide the heck open. Great job. Beautiful. I like it. Back to basics. Again, all right, they schemed up 2 free rushers, but do you got to answer for it? Purdy did, and he had to get that ball out in a hurry. A little bit of a side. Heck yeah, let's go. Great job, Kyle. Great job, offensive line. Great job, Purdy. Great job, Conley. Great job, Kittle. This is what it's about. This is the 49ers offense that we did not see last week. And again, beautiful. Look at how close they are to Purdy, man. That is close, but not close enough, Dallas. Still smoking on that Dallas pack. Sorry, pals. Gosh, I love beating Dallas. Nothing better. Nothing better than beating Dallas, man. And again, this team is just scratching the surface of what they are. And so, all right, look at this. Look at this. You tell me what this is. I think this is a designed Purdy run. I hope Steve Young is watching this film breakdown, and he watched this play, and this is either a design or just a brilliant heads up play by Purdy, because you're going to get like a fake underneath pop pass to Pearsall. All right, that's the action. That's the that's the window dressings. That's not what they're doing. That's just a disguise, right? So 52, he's all over Debo. So uh, but see, what's giving me pause is Brendel. The way Brendel's kind of running out there, is he anticipating Brock? See, I don't think this is the designed run. I think this is Brock ad-libbing because he didn't like the look, and he said, "I'm going to tuck it. I'm going to run." I don't know. The way he did it so fast to me tells me like that's the option. The option is, all right, he's covered up. You have nothing. I think this is what Kyle talked about. I'm not exactly sure that this is the play he was talking about. He mentioned a play where the wide receiver was covered up, and that meant he had no options. And so he instantly was like, "All right, that's not going to work. Then we're off to the races." That's a phenomenally in tune heads up quarterback right there to be able to make that play. Man, how do we turn that into a design? How do we turn that into it being intentional? Yeah, I don't think this was designed. Originally, I'm like, is it? No, this is the one where Debo was covered, so he pulled it and he ran. Again, just get down a little sooner. Just get down a little sooner, Brocky. I don't want a shoulder to the dome. I don't want that. Just a little, that's my only nitpick. It's just because I'm scared. That's it. I don't want Brock to get hurt. But great decision on that throw. Great decision on that play. Great ability to get it done and get after it. And this is my favorite throw of the day. Shout out to Susie Cusey for the super sticker. Appreciate it. This is my favorite throw of the day. Play action. Flip that head around. Smoke that ball right by Eric Kendrick's face. Oh, look at this throw, man. This is one of his best throws on the year. Little bit of PA. Ooh. Bro, like you talk about tight window throws, and he throws this thing on a rope. Dude, he smokes that right past Eric Kendrick's face. You put that just a little bit to the inside, that's a pick. And the way it came out of his hands, how smoothly it lands, like Kittle catches it perfectly in stride. Let's go. We back. We're back. We are back. I love Gav calling out McKivitz. Look at the whole O line holding strong. Whew. Like, look at the relation where Eric Kendricks is when the ball's coming out. He's thinking like, oh, I might have a shot at that thing. And he's like, oh no, that's way too out. Oh no. Douche. What a beauty. Booyah. Let's go. We're back. We're freaking back. Brock Purdy is back. That's what I'm talking about. This one's hilarious to me. We've seen Trent Williams block a defender with another defender. This is, I think, Trent Williams' first tackle. He takes 98 and he throws him into Guerendo. I get what's happening. He's trying to reach this. You can see by the way he's trying to get his hips across, and you can see the defensive end. He's fighting through it, but at a certain point, Trent has to let go of the guy. But it looks like he throws him right into Guerendo. I hope Trent gets credited for that tackle because that's beautiful. I was watching that. I was like, oh, did Trent just get a tackle? I think he literally just threw the defender into Isaac Guerendo. Again, I get it. I get the leverage problem. You can see you got an outside shade. You know, he's trying to get his hips around. He can't, and he's just got to be like, all right, you going. Threw him right into Guerendo. No, that made me laugh. Made me laugh. This screen to Guerendo, I feel like if Guerendo cuts back in side, this has a much more likelihood of being a bigger play. Because, I mean, you got bodies here. If he runs away this way inside, I think, Pooney is going to be able to chip him and protect the angle so he doesn't get tackled by him, because you can see Pooney's trying to cut that off. So if Guerendo stem this back inside, I think Guerendo wasn't anticipating him to be there, so he was kind of already on his track, you can see, and he just kind of had to roll with it. But if he knew that he wanted to cut inside, I think he would have been able to get past him. Brendel's on his guy. You can decide to cut back in further off of Banks. You can go back inside on this side of McKivitz. But again, man, that's a nitpick. I understand why he he was flowing that way. So it just kind of worked out. But I'm sure that's part of the coaching point on that play is be alert to the inside, be alert to cutting back towards the middle where your blockers are. Debo was awesome this game. I love Brock standing tall within the pocket. You can feel he gets stepped on right here. You can see Trent steps on his ankle right there, but he's still able to deliver the ball. Great job by Debo getting upfield. So, I mean, when we just talk about this performance, it's night and day, man. It's night and day compared to the Chiefs, and it still wasn't perfect. I would say there's probably a solid 30% that they can clean up. 30% of the plays that they ran, they can correct some things. They need to execute better. Better technique in certain areas. But 70% hit rate and execution on your plays netted them 30 points. So that's the scary part, is that if these guys can get that number closer to 85, 90%, like efficiency of execution, like from an execution standpoint across the board, and you're getting 85 to 90%, dude, this offense is going to be really, really hard to stop, especially with Christian McCaffrey coming back. Brock Purdy taking him. That's what I'm saying, man. Short yardage, sneak it. Hey, I don't care. I don't care if we got to jack the tush push from Philly. I don't care. It's working for us, man. Keep going. Keep running Purdy on short yardage. It is working. Don't get too cute. I like cute sometimes. I do like cute sometimes, but sometimes I just want to see sneak it up the middle. Oh, look at the subtle change of direction. Great block by Kyle Juszczyk. He took one for the team on that one. McKivitz, Pooney handling their guy. Great job. Hey, man, it's about as good as you can do it. So I think where we look at where the 49ers failed offensively against the Chiefs, those corrections were made. And it just looked better. Another Purdy scramble. Take it all day, Purdy. Take it all day, Purdy. I like this particular play coming up. Not this one. This was just this just worked against the 49ers protection. With Isaac, you want to get him tighter to the line of scrimmage. He's going to the right guy. He needs to be more on this hip of Trent. Because of the spacing, it makes it really easy to cut inside. So just needs to be more downhill and more on an angle that's kind of basically he needs to be aiming for this hip pocket. Because if he's aiming for that hip pocket, he cuts off the lane. At minimum, he might still get run over, but he cuts off the lane. He takes too much of an outward path. He's just gotta change his aiming point, and he's fine. I mean, good job to Brock for not fumbling, because boy, he got blindsided in a hurry. But I think he'll be that's something that, with the rookie protections, they'll figure that out. That I'm less concerned about. That's more of a mental thing than like even a physical thing. I really like this just for the simple fact that Brock was able to dump this. He was able to. So I don't know if that's the built-in hot right here, but you can see they bring numbers, and he's able to buy time within a muddy pocket and dump that thing off to Kyle Juszczyk. I like that. I like that quite a bit. Not a big play, not a big highlight, nothing crazy. It's just being smart and getting the ball to where you need it to be. And then we're gonna run it with Isaac. And Isaac should have had another touchdown. And again, look at the ability to cut this outside. This is Raheem Mostert-esque. Love it, man. I love this. I mean, look at that cut. And then the stiffy with the intentional slide. Yeah, Isaac's a dog. We officially stan Isaac Guerendo, and we officially oh yeah. This guy hasn't even scratched the surface of his potential yet. Not even close. This cut is beautiful. Look how quick he levitates to the outside. Yeah. Oh yeah. Game blouses. So, victory formation, you love it. 49ers rookies balling. I just really think in general, again, the overall performance night and day compared to what we saw with the 49ers versus the Chiefs, just completely different. A completely different vibe, completely different energy. Even if it was still disjointed, they were still good. They still figured it out. They still got back on track. And again, for me, it was the penalties. The penalties was the thing that was derailing them. There was, of course, some lack of, execution. Like I said, probably I'd call it 70-30. 70% of their plays were on point. 30% were either good defense, busted, you know, technique. They did the wrong thing. So, 70%, efficiency, and you're putting up 30 points. They have the opportunity to go even better. So again, the way that I'm quantifying that game against the Chiefs is it's more of an outlier. To me, that's not representative of who they are. I think that game really shook a lot of people. And hey, myself included, I was a little bit like, whoa, I'm not used to the 49ers offense looking like that. I don't really know how to perceive that because we just hadn't seen that type of performance. Like even when you go back to the past Chiefs performances, it wasn't that bad. So to me, even though again, like I continue to say, there's room for them to improve on the offensive side of the football um, against Dallas. Gosh, you got to feel good. You got to feel good as a offensive player putting in that performance, heading into the bye after answering based on what happened, against it's much better. Whew, much better. Um, felt felt like I was watching a completely different team on this one than I was against the Chiefs. So that makes me feel much more optimistic. It makes me feel like the San Francisco 49ers are again. I think Fred said it best. The 49ers need to stop bouncing back. They need to just stack. They need to stop having like decent games and then flopping the next week. coming back, having decent games, winning, and then flopping. They just need to keep stacking. Have a decent game, stack on that. All right, get a little bit better, stack on that. All right, get a little bit better, stack on that. And if they can get into that rhythm, because this is the rhythm of the first 8 games, up and down, roller coaster, not really getting better, right? You're just trying to get back to even, right? It's like they're on a plane that hit the turbulence. Ooh, just try to flatten out. No, they want to be ascending. They want to be going up, not getting even. And so it feels like these 8 games of the season, it's been like, what's our standard? What's our identity? What's our even? And then how do we tilt that and start ascending? So the hope is that this game against Dallas gets them even, and then from here on out they start ascending. So that's the hope. You get Christian McCaffrey back next week, the arrow's pointing up. So stack. Now the call to the 49ers offense is to take this performance, not only duplicate it, improve it, stack it, ascend, get better. Don't fall, don't dip, don't stay the same. Ascend, improve. Take the 70% that you did well, bump that up to 80%, even 75%. Marginal improvement, I will take. Just bump it up. Just keep bumping, keep getting better, keep taking steps, keep improving. And again, those little steps over time will transpire into big improvements down the line. So, thank you, 49ers. Thank you for putting together a good performance on tape. I'm not going to lie, that performance had me stressing last week against the Chiefs. And this, to me, rights the ship and puts them back on track. And you're 4-4, 500. They are tied for, I believe, first right now in the NFC West. They have an opportunity to maybe add some pieces at the deadline. They have some opportunities to get better. They have some opportunities to get some players back. They have an opportunity to get into rhythm. And when we see that tape and we see some of the plays happening, it's just the ability to get into rhythm, the ability to put drives together, the ability to string series together. And again, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing when it starts working together. And my 49ers hope has been restored. It's not that it went away. It took a little damage, took a little fall damage. But we're back. And again, when I say we're back, I'm not saying put us in the Super Bowl. I'm just saying, all right, we're not sputtering. we're not spinning out. Our tail didn't blow off. We're not spinning that, nose first towards the ground. We're evening and leveling out the turbulence. Now it's time to ascend. So appreciate everyone for tapping in for this one. Hopefully you guys have the same level and feeling that I do. I think we understand that there's still a long ways to go. This team isn't out the weeds just yet, but one step, that's what it is. A step in the right direction. Now add a step and then take another step and then another and another. Not a step backwards, a step forward. That is the key. And then hopefully by the time the San Francisco 49ers are squaring off against Green Bay, when they're squaring off against the Bills, they would have stacked enough momentum to be able to put themselves in a good spot to go and win some tough games on the road. But appreciate you guys as always for tapping in. I can see you guys grabbing your cookies already, ahead of the curve. Smash that like button if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. And we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right, guys. Appreciate you guys. I'm out of here for now. Peace. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see you.